What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. We at it again. You know who it is? It's your boy John.
I am the Nobody Slayer.
Trying to turn this way.
Yeah, fuck both of us with Batman right now.
Fucking,
dude, I got beat up by every belt yesterday. From white to fucking at least purple.
I didn't get beat up, but I don't know what I did to my neck. It's just one of those days. Like after class, I was like, oh, I can't turn my neck.
Yeah, I don't think I got my neck hit at all, or my head hit. And my neck is killing me right now.
I might have just like moved in the wrong way and tweaked that shit. Anyways, I got me my booked up.
Where do you get this
energy from? The vitamin shop. The vitamin shop? Or GMC?
It's regular?
Yeah, the one. Is it GMC or no? I think it's called the vitamin shop.
Yep.
They were $1.
That's a good deal.
$1 for bucked up, but they only let you get 6. So, but zero sugar and stuff. They're pretty good.
I like them. I'm on a fucking traditional monster because Monday we get after it. I hit up fucking Omar Zinho. We're fucking getting down, dog.
Who?
Omar.
The Omar?
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna start dieting?
Omar Zinho.
Omar Zinho. Just call him Little Omar.
The Little Omar's, that's how you say it in Portuguese.
Oh.
Dude, I'm the resident Brazilian here, dog.
All right.
I'm the resident Brazilian. I'm the ambassador to judo. What else we got?
White belt slayer, blue belt wrangler.
It's been a while, dude. We haven't done this like in 3 weeks.
It feels like that, yeah, because you did. You went to ADCC and the CJI.
Yeah.
I guess how was that? Like, before we get into like how the actual matches are and the brackets and stuff like that, how was the vibe at ADCC? How was the vibe at CJI? How was it from a spectator perspective?
All right. So first of all, let me start right here, real quick. Whoever that hater in the comments thinks I was talking shit on CJI. You are mistaken.
I don't remember what the comment was.
There was some fucking comment hater in there, like, obviously we watched it live and fucking bitch. I was there. It was 15 minutes between fucking fights. You know, fuck what you think, motherfucker. I'll fuck your ass up.
Between fights at CJI?
Dude, it was like 15 minutes.
No.
Yes, dude. It was.
It was not. They
dude,
were quick.
I was getting up, walking down, going to the bathroom, getting a drink, and walking back before the fight started.
They were much faster than ADCC. They were like one after another, after another, after another, after another.
What do you mean? At ADCC, there was 3 fights at a time,
that's right.
and ADCC
no, that was the problem I hated about ADCC is I couldn't like it's. We'll talk about
let's
it
talk.
later.
Okay,
yeah.
But anyway, dude, at very least they were 10 minutes.
I don't know.
There was no way I was walking down the fucking stairs, going to the bathroom, getting a drink, and coming back.
I watched the whole thing. I didn't.
So we gotta. Someone
actually. I was I was like, we're gonna watch it, CJI, and then I was like, I saw a post on Reddit, and some guy asked Craig, hey, can I do like a watch party for CJI? And I guess he had told him, yeah. And I was like, maybe I'll fucking stream it. So I went and looked on Twitch, and there was like one person streaming it.
Yep.
And I was like, fuck it, I'll stream it. So I started streaming it on Twitch, and I basically got almost the whole thing. I went like 8 hours and like 10 minutes of streaming. I had like 40 fucking viewers the whole time, which was insane. This is the most viewers I've ever had. And so I was like, I had a little auto thing that kept putting out, like, if you like jiu-jitsu, come check out the podcast, and then we would talk about it, whatever. But, and then my Twitch account got fucking suspended for a day, so I couldn't stream it the next day right off the bat. But I watched from start to finish the entire first day and the second day of CGI. The first day, we did it live. I had a bunch of people in my Discord, and we were just talking while we were watching it, and then there's people chatting, and so there was good conversation and stuff about like the matches and what was going on. It was pretty cool.
This motherfucker just admitted to stealing from charity on fucking camera.
No,
because all the streams
all the money
goes to charity.
Yeah, but they weren't gonna watch it there, so now they were watching on my channel.
Yeah, and then how did that help? How did that help charity?
Because
how did that help charity?
Listen, because when they would talk about the charity, they would bring up the QR code, and then they could scan it.
How many people scan it?
I don't know. I can't tell you, but more than if they didn't watch it.
I don't think so. I think this motherfucker stole from charity. Yeah, he was busted. Like, people were streaming it, and they were fucking copyright striking people like crazy. That's wild. Anybody that posted like full fights, they were copyright hitting because
that's wild because it was free.
Yeah, but the views, they don't want any view. Not
they
on
wanted
their
to go to
page.
YouTube. Yeah,
just because it's gonna whatever. I don't know how much.
It's gonna
money
happen
they
no
get from
matter
that.
what. But
Yeah, but they're gonna copyright strike.
Yeah,
He said he's like, we're gonna copyright strike everybody.
yeah, it took. I didn't do it to YouTube.
Yeah.
I only did it to Twitch,
Yeah.
and it took, like I said, it took over like there was like 2 matches left by the end when they finally took it down.
Dude, so yeah, on to the first day. So I mean, I really enjoyed CJI. The vibe was cooler. It was more like the homies doing it, you know. Everyone was super excited. I think that was there. There was nobody who was like, I guess we'll just go to this. You know what I mean? It seemed like everyone really wanted to be there. Dude, the line I didn't get any merch. Dude, the line to get merch was over an hour long every day. So the first day was an hour long up until probably the 9th hour. And by the time I went down there, like at that time, there was no more merch left. They sold out of fucking everything. Yeah. And the shirts were like $60, something like that, $55. They were really expensive.
Yeah, but that's what you would expect from that.
That's what you'd expect, because also Thomas and Mack takes a percentage and shit like that. But it was cool. Like, so if you're just looking at like CJI, like the overall vibe of it, it was super cool. I wish they would have had less time between the fights. And otherwise, the organization I thought was pretty good. It was overall, it was a really good show. If they're gonna do it at Thomas and Mack again, and they're gonna do it in this style, I don't think I would go again.
The thing that I think, which everyone assumed was going to be the case, the way the mat was set up, and the way that you couldn't go out of bounds, the way all the fights that ended up on the edge, all those fights would have ended and had to like put back in the middle at any other fight. Yeah. And the fact that they were able to continue fighting off of the fucking mats.
Well, so on to that, 2 things on that. So if you remember the very first fight, someone got thrown almost out of it. Yeah. And Jason Herzog.
It looked like they tried to throw him out.
Yeah, Jason Herzog stopped it, and then I don't know if you could see, but Craig ran over there. He was like, "Hey, don't stop these fights on the walls," and he was like, "Okay." And then they never stopped another one unless they were actually going out of them.
Or touching the top.
Yeah. But I think, it was so hard to pay attention to everything that was going on at ADCC because there's three at a time, and like they're in the middle of fights and they're announcing the other fighters and shit, right? So it's kind of hard to pay attention. Like, so usually what I was doing is watching them, because we had, shout out to fucking Bob the Builder, motherfucking best seats in the fucking world, dude. There was a private fucking bar in them.
Really?
You had to pay for the bar, but there was private bar and private bathrooms.
Oh, that's sick.
In the seating. So, dude, and the seats were fucking amazing. Anyway. So I was just watching like the Megatron or whatever they fucking call it, Jumbotron most of the time, because they were focusing on the fight, like they were focusing on the fight that everyone wanted to see, except for one of them, like the first day, dude. It was 3 banging fights. It was the Pixley one, Pixley and Marigali, and then like I can't remember who the other 2 were because everyone was focused on that, but 2 banging fights going on at the same time. So three banging fights at once.
From a online viewer, CGI took it.
Because 100%. It was one fight at a time.
Not only that, the production was fucking better. There was
I saw some of the commentary. It looked really good.
The commentary was good. The audio was fucking clean. And I'll give it to ADCC. They were much better this year than last year.
Sorry. That's where I was going. I think because they made so much talk about the pit and going out of bounds and shit, I feel like ADCC had a meeting and said, hey, if you go out of bounds, we're stopping shit. Because there wasn't, that's what I was getting at. There were so many fights going on at once, I couldn't really pay attention. But a lot of the fights didn't go out of bounds. And then, dude, fucking hats off to fucking Wagner for getting as far as he did. But also, that motherfucker commands the match so crazy. He would go out, like, he would be fighting, like, getting pushed towards the edge, put his hand up and point towards the middle. And they would circle back around to the middle. They would just stop. He was like, I'm not fucking fighting you on the concrete, motherfucker. And like everyone did it.
Yeah.
But go ahead. Sorry, I jumped in on that. But yeah, I think ADCC said, hey, we're not gonna fucking highlight reel you on the concrete today.
Yeah. Well, I think that I was just really impressed with, for an organization throwing an event for the first time and having such high quality streaming capability, streaming services. Yeah. The fact that like it was free on YouTube, it was easy to access, like it was amazing. Like to see, like I expected that there was going to be some challenges here and there, or there was going to be some problems. There was none. One time the camera panned from the fight, and it was panning on Nikki Ryan for a moment, and I was like, why the fuck are we looking at Nikki Ryan warm up?
Someone probably hit the wrong button.
Yeah, and then it went back to the match. But that was the only thing, and it happened for like 10 seconds, and then it went back to the match. The camera was always on the action. Yeah. The audio quality was great. It was just overall, it was just a good. It was a long fucking event.
So we got there.
But that's what happens when you do one fight at a time.
Yeah. So we got there. I think it started at 3. Yeah, I think it started at 3. We got there maybe like 2:30, just a little bit early. Dude, we tapped out.
Yeah,
we missed. We left after the first round of the -80.
That's crazy because that was the best.
Dude, so we watched the whole first round of -80, and then we left, dude. It was dude, Danny was falling asleep. Dude, fucking Danny, he was like fucking nodding out and shit. Dude, there was that much time between the matches, Danny was nodding out.
I didn't feel like that from a live perspective.
It was rough.
They felt like
and then
really quick.
Dude, the seats fucking suck.
All right.
Hold on, let me get back to the venue real quick. So, Thomas and Mack is a college. It's the UNLV's basketball place. Dude, plastic seat, like the hollow plastic seats. The space between the seats is super narrow, so like your fucking knees were bent all day. And then like the space between sideways the seats, it would have been like we were sitting like this.
Yeah.
Dude, it was just like, man, like I said, if they do CJI there again, I don't think I'll go. If they do it in this format, this many fighters, I don't know if I'll go.
I don't know. From online perspective,
from what I saw online, it looks way.
I think if you were, this would be the type of really cool event where if you throw a little event and have people over and just watch it all day and like in and out watching it, have a backyard TV, have an inside TV. It was a really good event to watch live.
Yeah.
Like I enjoyed the fucking whole thing. I'll say this. I enjoyed the old event. -80 was by far the better of the fucking brackets.
Yeah, well, that -80 bracket was probably the best jiu-jitsu bracket of all time.
It was fire. Plus 80.
Dude, so
it hurt.
You know what sucks?
There was some good matches in there, but
hard
only
to watch.
because of the people that I was like Felipe Andrews, fucking Nicky Rod.
Yeah.
Like those guys made and William Tackett.
Yeah.
Those guys made the fights good. Outside of that, like even the Luke Rockhold one, it was kind of like.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about this -80 bracket. So, shout out to McDojo Life, one of the nicest dudes I've met in real life. Man, that motherfucker was ear beating me, and I missed Victor get subbed. So I walked out to the bathroom, and I saw the McDojo dude. I was like, "Hey, dude, can I get you know who I'm talking about?"
Yep.
I was like, "Yo, dude, can I get a picture of you?" He said, "Oh, for sure." And he told me his name. I think his name's Brandon or something like that. And we started talking, and I brought up. You know the black dude that says bend the arm, snap the elbow? I was like, yo, is that dude fucking serious? And he's like, I think he was in the beginning. And then I found out about him, and then I went hard on it, and now that dude tags McDojo and everything. So now he's like trying to make it a joke. But he's like, I think he was serious. And then that turned into another conversation. Yeah. And then all I heard is ga like on the fucking thing. And I was like, oh, I think one of the Rutellos is going. I think they switched the brackets. And he was like, oh, really? And I was like, yo, dude, I got to go. So I start walking away. Then I just hear, ah! And I was like, what the fuck did I miss? And I see Victor standing up. And I was like, no fucking way.
Yeah.
Victor got subbed in the first fucking round. What, like in a minute?
It was funny because we were, when I was streaming, I made a poll. And so every match I would change the poll and I'd say, like, who's going to win?
Yep.
And so me and my friends were picking.
Yep.
And then on that first match, I picked Victor. I was like, well, fucking Victor's winning this.
Yeah.
And so then my friends all picked Victor because they don't really watch it.
Yep.
And then after that, they were like, fuck you.
Yeah.
They were like, we're not going to. Well, I was like, dude, he should have won that. 99 out of 100 fights, Victor Hugo wins this fucking match.
Yeah, dude. Well, so I think on that particular fight, I think Victor was way too prepared. And I think so many fuckers were trying to leg lock him, and he was just like, bitch, like, you know how many times I've been here?
Yeah.
And that dude just snapped on it all goon style.
And he screamed.
Yeah, because, dude, that dude didn't set it up. He didn't do shit.
He just went for it.
He was like, ah! You know what I mean? And fucking got it. So I think Victor was just over-prepared for that one. I'm good now. I think Victor was just over-prepared and was just so confident in every position that he got caught. I mean,
there were, I'll say this, too. There were a lot of upsets in
this was the weekend of upsets.
Even at ADCC, there was upsets.
Yeah.
Like huge upsets where you're like, whoa, what is happening? Like, I knew that, for example, William Tackett versus
Gabriel. Yeah, but dude, the fucking size difference.
I knew that it was going to be a challenge,
Yeah.
but I've seen William and Andrew Tackett overcome fucking giants.
Yeah.
Look at Andrew Tackett fought Big Dan.
Yeah, and beat him.
Yeah. And Big Dan is fucking huge.
And he's good.
Yeah, and he's good.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't as good then, and he wasn't even known then,
Yeah.
really. But his jiu-jitsu was better than an average person, but he was massive. So I seen these guys go up against massive people and come out, and that's what I expected. I think, and this might be, I think he should have called for stalling. Yes, he was in a submission, but he literally, it wasn't going to fucking catch it. You knew Andrew wasn't going to tap out, and he wasn't adjusting. He wasn't trying to make it worse, and he just laid there. I think they should have called it as a stalling and stood them back up.
So, I agree with you on that. So, on this minus 80 bracket, or plus 80, once Victor lost, I picked Andrew. Philippe. I picked Philippe, and I was like, yo, it's going to be Philippe and Nicky Rod. There's no fucking doubt about it, because by far in this bracket, as far as a jiu-jitsu practitioner goes, nobody's better than Philippe Andrew.
I agree.
He is the best jiu-jitsu practitioner probably in the world
and the fact, I want to say, I think one of the best things about him is how humble he was about it. But he was correct in the sense that, like, he's a gi jiu-jitsu guy. He doesn't train gi all the time.
He's getting into it now.
And he's starting to get into it. And then he was, like, super surprised that he made it that far. I don't think anyone
was I don't think he was surprised. I think maybe he was being humble about it. I think as far as straight jiu-jitsu goes,
he had the best, technique-wise.
He might be the best in the world. The only person that's probably as close, better than him in jiu-jitsu is probably Gordon. But if you put maybe Marigali like on it's probably him, Marigali, and Gordon, top 3 jiu-jitsu practitioners in the world. You put all 3 of them together, skills that go both ways. You'd probably say that Marigali is better than Gordon, and then both. Like let's say you combine those skills, right? You gi and no gi. And let's say you can get to 100. Gi and no gi, you would have to think that Marigali's probably in the high 90s. I think you look at Philippe, he's probably right there, and then Gordon might be like a 90. You know what I mean? Just because he doesn't know the grips as much. But you give him 6 months in the gi, he's fucking right there.
Smashing everybody,
but today, Saturday, the week after CJ, after this tournament, you have to say Philippe is top 5 or top 3 in the world.
He's a legit
savage,
and he still gets like undervalued anytime he fights. I don't understand that.
He loses a lot of the big ones, but I don't know if you saw, he left Alliance this week and went to AOJ.
I saw him. I didn't know he left.
He left Alliance.
I think that's a good move for him.
I was talking to somebody about it that's friends with him, and I was like, what do you think he's going to get out of, because so Alliance is the best competitive team right now as a whole. It's probably Alliance and Autos. As a whole, they're the best competitive team. They're a couple miles from each other, and Alliance actually isn't from California.
Right.
They're from Brazil, but their headquarters are in Atlanta. So the competition team is all in San Diego.
Yeah, San Diego.
And that team is fucking unbelievable.
That's your boy Pete right there, Mr. Throwing.
Yeah.
He's fucking doing flying arm bars.
Yeah, Peter was there. You had Philippe. You have Luciana Mota. You have fucking what's her name? She came to our school before. But there's all these women that are high level. There's all these men that are high level. There's Masters World Champions. There's fucking kids coming up. Dude, it is a fucking savage school.
Yeah.
And I hit up my boy, and I was like, dude, I was like, damn, Philippe left? And he's like, yeah, we knew he was leaving. And then I was like, okay. And I was like, what do you think he's going to get by going to AOJ? And he's like, dude, just the mind difference. Like, he's like, dude, the fucking
mental game.
The Mendez brothers are on another level. And it's like, how can you say they're not? Especially after this weekend.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, they're on another level. So, Philippe, another year or two, I think he's going to be unstoppable and he wins everything. I think you're going to – it seems like all the posts after ADCC, it seems like Gordon's going to retire. I think he's done.
He looked pretty rough his first match.
Dude, I only saw parts of it because I didn't watch.
Well, let's finish this and we'll talk about ADCC.
So Philippe Andrew, I think he was the best jiu-jitsu practitioner there. Nicky
dominated almost every.
If you didn't think Nicky Rod was a black belt,
think
fucking
here.
again.
Yeah.
That motherfucker is this.
He made it look easy.
This put a stamp on the quality of his jiu-jitsu. You can tell he's tired of relying on his athleticism and he wants to do jiu-jitsu now. Hey, dude, he submitted everybody.
I knew, one of the...
Adam Bradley...
I was just about to say, Adam Bradley, I knew he was going to do well.
Yeah.
I knew he was going to do well. He's a fucking killer. And he fights out of everything, and he doesn't stop. He always keeps going.
I didn't realize how big he is.
He's big. He wasn't that big before.
No, he's giant right now.
He looks huge.
He's probably 210.
Yeah, he looks big,
dude.
yeah.
I mean, he's on the Optos welcome package, so you know what I mean?
A lot of these guys are.
Yeah, but you should be. If you're in this bracket, you should be on steroids.
Pat Downey, I was like, why does he look... Oh, man.
They're just backing up. It's just a loud car.
Oh, is it a car?
It's a car.
God, I thought that was a lawnmower or something.
That power steering's fucked up, homie.
Yeah. Pat Downey. I was looking at this guy. I was like, why does this fucking guy look like he's straight from Kazakhstan? And then I realized, but he's not from there.
He's from here. He's a Penn State guy, right?
Yeah, but he did like a big training camp over there with those guys. Oh, yeah. And so he had the full on like normal beard. And I was looking at him like, why the fuck does he look like he's one of those guys? Yeah. And then they were talking about it and they were saying that he did like a whole training camp over there with them. And he looked really well. He looked really fucking good. Like in his first match against Luke Rockhold, like he played with Luke. Although I'll say Luke looked like he wasn't in it.
Did you? I don't know if you heard this news. Luke was hurt.
Oh, was he? Oh, his back was like crooked like a fucking...
Luke threw his back out that week.
Yeah, I saw a picture of him, and he was like walking like this, and you could see his back was all fucking crooked.
So he was just in there on will, you know what I mean? And then also on the other side of the bracket, my fucking dog Majid blew his knee out in the camp.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people fought.
He was hurt. He was super injured, and he said it right afterwards. He was like, thanks for the support. I went in there with the fucked up knee, and all I was trying to do was avoid a leg lock, and that dude threw it on right quick. He's like, I think he said he didn't even get to the submission, and he tapped out of panic.
Yeah.
Majid will be back. I don't think he's ever going to be an upper-level fighter, but, dude, he's so fun. Majid's the people's champ.
So, plus 80, we had the finals, if you guys didn't watch it. We had Nick Erod versus Felipe Andrew.
Felipe was doing good, too.
I didn't think Felipe was going to be able to beat Nick Erod.
I did.
Only because of... Nicky Rod has been... Well, first of all, Nicky's technique has improved tremendously, but he also always has that wild card, which is his fucking athleticism.
Motherfucker flies through the air and shit.
So I knew, like, if he got in a position where he had to turn that on, he was going to turn that shit on.
Yeah, but, dude, Felipe is so fucking good, I thought he was going to catch him.
He was doing good.
Dude, I mean, he ended up getting him with a rear naked, right?
He got pretty close.
He got him up on top. No, he didn't finish that?
No.
He went to a decision?
No. Nicky finished that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying, but Felipe was
holding him off. Yeah. Dude, he was doing everything. Like, dude, his jiu-jitsu looked amazing. Yeah. I was like, dude, Philippe's about to win this money. And then they got put up on the wall because they were on the wall when he caught it, right?
I don't remember.
There was like a weird transition, and he caught it, and I was like, oh.
I'll say if people didn't know who Felipe Andrew was, they know him now.
Yeah, and then also, if you didn't think... there's a lot of motherfuckers out there that don't think Nicky Rod's a jiu-jitsu guy.
He's a jiu-jitsu guy.
He's a fucking jiu-jitsu guy. That motherfucker is... I think 100% he beats Gordon right now.
Right now?
You put him up against Gordon this week.
I think he would have beat Gordon.
I think he fucking destroys him.
Yeah, I think he would have beat him.
The way Gordon
looked. But we'll talk about that.
Let's go to the minus 80 bracket.
Yeah, the minus 80 was fucking phenomenal.
So we watched the first round, and then we were watching it in the car back to the hotel. As soon as we got to the hotel, we turned it back on. This bracket, undoubtedly, the best bracket I have ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, it was amazing. I don't think there was any match that I wasn't like stuck watching. Oh, the final match was kind of rough.
If I remember this correctly, Ty headbutted Jason Nolf.
They started throwing hands.
Oh yeah, okay.
They started throwing hands. Dude, I'm surprised that Ty didn't get DQ'd. Because he threw a three-piece at him, straight to the face.
Dude, Nolf, well, did you see how it started?
Yeah, well, he was fucking...
Nolf fucking bitch slapped him. And he was like, oh, what's up?
Yeah.
Dude, he hit him like 6 times. But he didn't like straight strike him. They were all like clubs. And then the ref was like, hey, you can't throw strikes. And he was like, he fucking started it.
Yeah.
And then, dude, he threw him a 3-piece and leg kicked his ass.
Yeah.
And but, dude... that was the one where Ty headbutted him too, right?
I don't remember if he headbutted.
So there was it was like towards the end, and I'm pretty sure Nolf was on the ground, kind of like in like reverse, like in the turtle, but on his back, and fucking Ty put his hands down and just boom headbutted his ass, dude.
Yeah.
Sorry, not Ty. Cade is the one that threw the
Cade was doing.
Cade threw the 3-piece against Mateus.
There was some. I don't want to call it dirty jiu-jitsu, but there was some fucking mean jiu-jitsu. There was fucking. Chin in the eyeball. There was what do they call it? a lot of
the rape choke,
or
like covering the face.
Yeah, covering your mouth.
Yeah.
There was a lot of like grinding your forehead against their face. There
Yeah.
was a lot of
mean
jujitsu. The Andrew Tackett with the fucking knee on the face almost the entire match over and over. I was like, damn, I like that.
Those are $1 million.
Yeah, I was like, I like that move.
When you motherfuckers put your knee on your face, we're fighting.
Well, that's the type of shit you don't do in the training room.
We're fucking fighting
in a tournament.
Yeah,
100%. That's something that I would probably do.
If you want to practice that shit, we're fighting in the fucking parking lot. Yeah. It's almost happened before. You know who the fuck you are.
I'll say this. I didn't know who Levi was.
I knew who he was.
I didn't know who he was until I watched this, and I was like, his guard game has to be one of the best fucking guard games in jiu-jitsu. Oh, nobody passed his fucking guard.
No.
That was wild to see. And in the whole bracket, for me, that was something that I was most impressed with, was watching all these guys and how good their guard retention was.
He went through everybody like nothing.
Yeah. He didn't even look like he broke a sweat until, he just was like there, and he was like attacking legs, attacking legs, attacking legs, attacking legs.
You know what's funny, though, because I was like, man, this dude's leg game is so good. So, like, there's an old video, again, fucking the GOAT Hickson on Rogan. And Rogan, tries to, like, be like, well, that old shit don't work no more because of leg locks. And fucking...
He was like, we always did leg locks.
Hickson was like, so what happens when you can't do a leg lock and I defend it? Then you go back to jiu-jitsu. And then fucking Rogan was like, oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense. I was thinking that the whole time. I was like, this dude don't have anything else.
He did.
And then there was a point where he stood up, took fucking Cade's back, and threw him down. I was like, oh, this motherfucker knows other shit. He knows more than leg locks.
Yeah. If you notice, then when that happened, he got on top of Cade, and then Cade was like, nope. He stood up and was like, I'm not gonna play. I'm not gonna play from here.
I would, this might be controversial. I bet Levi is an overall better practitioner than Cade, at least because right now Cade's focusing on MMA. But Levi probably would have beat him with a better game plan.
Or no limit.
No, I don't think you're tiring him out. But I don't think you're tiring out Cade. But I think if Levi went in there with a better game plan, he would have won that fight. I think it was very close anyway. It could have went either way for that fight. But let's take a step back and look at Andrew Tackett and Nicky Ryan. I think this is a crossroads for Nicky. He's probably got to retire.
Nicky, they said that
he was probably hurt.
They said that the week before, or 2 weeks before, he couldn't even walk.
His ankle again, or what?
I don't remember what they said, but they said like a week or two before, he wasn't even able to walk.
Yeah.
And so he only got like a week or two of like real training in because he couldn't even walk. So
yeah, I think Nicky's got to retire.
He's one of those athletes like Dominic Cruz. Obviously, Dominic Cruz made it a world, became a
But he was able to come back and win every time.
But then he would get hurt right away.
But then he would come back and
then he would smash. Yeah. So what I mean, Nicky Ryan is just his body is just not. Or Nicky Ryan is just. He's unfortunately has unlucky body that just constantly gets hurt. He's a great jiu-jitsu practitioner. He just gets hurt constantly.
I think Nicky needs to retire and step up and be the coach of B team because Craig's never going back.
No, he's having too much fun.
Craig only,
and that wasn't his plan.
His plan was just to start it for the dudes.
Yeah.
So I don't think he ever goes back to be a permanent fixture there. I think Nicky Ryan needs to step up and be the Danaher because it seems like he has it. When he talks about jiu-jitsu, when he coaches, when he teaches, if you're watching his instructionals, he's amazing, dude.
Yeah.
This dude, Nicky is on another level of jiu-jitsu. The problem is his body just can't hold up to it. And on that fight, you see Nicky give up, which is sad. So you're like, well, is Andrew Tackett really even that good?
Yeah. And then
Andrew Tackett is that motherfucker.
Andrew Tackett is the man. I thought Andrew Tackett. I thought it was going to be Andrew Tackett and Ty Ruotolo.
That motherfucker was fixing his hair.
Yeah, in the middle of the match.
All the fights.
Yeah. All the fights he was taking away. That's wild.
Yo.
And of course, as we're talking about Andrew Tackett, the fucking best match I've ever seen in fucking jiu-jitsu ever was Andrew Tackett versus Cade Ruotolo.
That's probably it's probably not that you've seen. It's probably the best no-gi match of all time.
It was wild. It was if you didn't watch any of this, go to YouTube and look up Cade Ruotolo versus Andrew Tackett. That by far, like if someone were to ask me like, what is a match that I should go watch
Yeah.
that shows what jiu-jitsu is, that's the match. But even then, it's still hard to show because your average person, that's like Michael Jordan and fucking Kobe going at it. You know, it's like, that's how high level these guys are. When you talk about levels, like your average person is not going to fight or put moves on like that. And so, but that I was like, holy
I don't know
crap.
how Cade does that shit and not get hurt.
He's just young. He's barely 20.
Dude. Yeah, that fight was the one. The Cade and Levi fight, it was boring, but it was a great show of a wild motherfucker and a dude who
knows how to slow the game down.
Knows how to slow the game down and will fuck your shit
I don't think
up.
I've ever seen someone so effectively, like when you talk about jiu-jitsu, gi versus no gi, one of the big things in gi is like you can slow the game down. If you're going up against someone younger than you, faster than you, more athletic than you, you can grab gis, you can slow them down, and you can slow the match down to your pace if you're good enough. I've never seen someone do that as effectively in no gi as Levi did. Yeah. Levi was able to slow the pace of the game. The greatest example is him versus Cade Rutolo. Cade and his brother are high pace. Boom, boom, boom. You know, super fast, super quick, dynamic. And he basically negated that and made it so that he couldn't use any of that. Yeah. Which was crazy to see that someone can slow down a match just like he was in the gi.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's switch over and kind of talk about ADCC. So I think ADCC being the king of grappling, I think that era is over. If Craig decides to continue to do this, which he said he was. He said I think he said he already has the funding too.
Well, he was. They were saying that even if he didn't get backers from ticket sales and sponsorships, he can get the 3 million.
Yeah. So if you look at ticket sales at CJI, the first day there was probably 6,000 to 7,000 people there, and the second day there was probably 8.
Those were the finals, yeah.
Yeah, so comparatively filled, there was more people in the seats during the finals of CJI than there was ADCC.
I honestly...
ADCC was not sold out. If anybody says it was sold out, they're fucking lying to you. They're lying. It was not sold out. Not anywhere near close sold out. The top rows were empty. So if they considered a sellout, not the top mezzanine... That means they only sold like 8,000 tickets because they cut off a third of the venue for the stage. Yeah. And then the top mezzanine was nowhere near sold out. Even during the finals, not only is ADCC no longer the king of grappling, Gordon Ryan is no longer the king of jiu-jitsu.
I don't believe that.
Do you know how many people were leaving?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean he's not the king of jiu-jitsu. He's still #1 grappler in the world.
Maybe.
Until he gets beat.
I think until this week.
Until he gets beat.
Yeah, but I think until this week there was no doubt that he was the king.
There is still no doubt.
I think Nicky Rod beats him, no doubt.
Until that happens,
he won't fight him.
We don't know.
He's ducking. He's ducking.
I agree. I'm hoping he comes out and he takes that match.
Nicky was ready to fight that fight right then.
Well, so let's just as we talk about Gordon, let's sure we talk about this. One, what's his name? What is his name? Who did he fight again the first match?
Felipe Pena.
Felipe Pena. Felipe Pena looked really good.
He won the bracket.
He looked really fucking good. He caught him in that bear trap and fucked up his knee. So in that match, he tore Gordon Ryan's ACL or MCL, one of those. He tore it in half with a bear trap. So keep in mind, he fought through that.
A lot of people think he lost that fight.
I don't think he lost it because he was still the one putting on the pressure. Yeah. And
Preguiça is not a pressure fighter.
And Felipe just kind of held him. I think Felipe did good doing his game. Yeah. And if you ever watch Felipe and
he's always like that.
His
what his nickname is? Preguiça. You know what that means?
The sloth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think every time they fought, the last few times they fought, not every time, but the last few times he fought, that's pretty much how he's done the best about with Gordon, is catching him in that bear trap and slowing Gordon down. However, he didn't really do anything. Other than that, he didn't really get any good attacks in.
Let me change the focus back to Gordon real quick. So, Gordon has never given anyone props. Mm-hmm. After this weekend, he talked about how good Yuri was and how good Felipe is. Mm-hmm. You only do that to try to make yourself look better. He's not doing that to say, I fought 2 cans, so I've beat the fuck out of multiple times before. He's doing that to be like, look at how fucking amazing these dudes are, and I beat them.
Well, whether you agree or disagree, he only trained a full train. He only got a real training camp for 10 days.
That's cool.
So,
back to my thing, he's done.
So I think he's getting down that road where he has like his medical issues and the injuries are starting to pile up, and it's definitely not going to be able to like potentially sustain unless he gets all that shit taken care of, because you can't perform at this level and have problems like that and then come into matches against these level of grapplers.
That's the problem of being that is the problem with being who he is. The same thing with Conor McGregor. That star can only burn so bright for so long.
Well, I mean, that's anybody. Look at anybody at a high level that you were like, this guy's never going to get beat.
Sanji Ribeiro was the fucking
Anderson
man until
Silva.
he retired.
You were like, this guy's no one's going to beat this guy. Boom,
but
he gets beat.
Sanji never really got beat like that. His last ADCC was 2 years ago, whatever. Yeah, he got beat, but it was never bad, and he was the man for 20 something years.
I'm not gonna sit here and say that I still think at this particular time, until otherwise proven, Gordon is still the top. But I do think if he were to fight Nicky Rod right now, he would probably lose.
I wish they would pan the camera to the crowd. I wasn't there. That's how much I love jiu-jitsu. I watch just about.
But that
everything.
has nothing. But what people think has nothing to do whether you're the best in the.
No, that's where I'm going to. So when I was talking about the king of jiu-jitsu, I wasn't talking about his skill.
Oh,
I was talking about reigning over the jiu-jitsu community.
No, that's Craig now.
Maybe. Yeah, Craig? It's probably Craig. But so
Craig is commanding the audience.
People left during his fights. A lot of people left. No one cared.
Yeah, because he's fought these guys before.
But no one cared.
Because he's fought these guys before.
So yeah, but put him.
It's not a big match.
Put him against Nicky. Nicky's the A side.
I think if Nicky and Gordon was there, there would have been a big match. There would have been a lot of people.
It would have been sold out.
Yeah, but
you can put Nicky and Gordon together right now. It'd sell out because they're both huge stars.
Exactly.
I think it's almost undoubtedly Nicky beats him.
Right now, yeah.
Because Nicky's on the way up. Gordon's at a plateau. He's not getting any better.
Yeah, because he's not training as much. Yep. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I still think until proven otherwise, he's still the best right now.
So this is how CJI was such a disruptor.
It made the matches.
I couldn't tell you about anything about ADCC except for Pato got to the finals.
Dude, I was so upset with that. But I mean,
Nicky Rod or J Rod got to the finals, and then I talked about it on the last podcast when I did it by myself. But how bad are the fucking brackets when Cyborg and Wagner are in the finals of fucking tournaments?
I know, yeah.
And
the last few ADCs, they get smoked right off the bat.
Yeah, and they had to fucking fix a fight and give it to Mika. PJ Barch beat Mika. No fucking doubt. Dude, he scored on him, which they didn't give him the points for, and he dominated that fight.
I didn't watch that one.
No way Mika should have been in the finals. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
If you go back and watch it, it's everyone, all the 10 Planet dudes are posting it. PJ Barch is in the mount, control. Yeah, I guess you could probably argue the control, but he was in the mount, on top, controlled at 4 seconds.
So you should have got the points.
Yes, because he didn't get off the mount until they stopped it. He should have got the points for the mount. No doubt he beat Mika, and in the overtime, he was dominating Mika again. In the last 10 seconds, Mika was able to take his back. I don't think ever got the hooks in. He just controlled him from the back with one hook. No points, and they gave it to Mika. And then for Mika to fight Wagner in the finals, you could throw a rock and hit the fucking target 100% of the time. There's no way Wagner beats Mika.
Yeah.
No fucking way. So the fact that Wagner and Cyborg were Cyborg only made it to the semifinals, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Because he got third, right? But the fact that Wagner
he fought Pixie, right? Was it Pixie?
Yeah, Pixley, yeah.
Yeah, and he won.
He beat Pixley.
Yeah.
So let's go. We'll talk about that in a second. But Wagner and Cyborg made it that far in this tournament. Should have never happened. The lower weights kind of played out the way we thought they would, except for Pato losing to fucking Baby Shark.
I knew that was going to be a tough match.
I did too, but I thought Pato was going to take it. He's good. Pato
really
was fucking him up.
Dude,
and then Baby Shark hit that transition and mounted him and then took his back and fucked the shit up. Yeah, that was sad, dude.
That goes back. That goes back to when you talk about jiu-jitsu, and I think Mika's talked about this before. Where it's like at this level, you have one chance, and if you don't capitalize on that one chance, everyone is so good that you only get one chance, and if you don't catch it, it's game over. And that's kind of like what happens with that is Baby Shark is fucking. He's good, man.
He's good.
You cannot give him a chance. As soon as he got his chance, boom, game over.
I would like to see that match in the gi too.
Yeah, because Pato's been destroying everything.
It's the year of the duck.
And he looked really fucking good.
Dude, he looked so good.
Yeah.
He looked unstoppable.
Yeah.
I thought it was in the bag, dude.
And me too.
I thought it was in the bag. But I also think, like, if we're going to talk about more of those, the final match, because the first day at ADCC, we were only there for like 2 hours, 3 hours. We left.
It just wasn't, it didn't even give me, I was like watching here and there. Yeah. I wasn't into it like I was with CJI.
Yeah. So the quality of the production was better. The environment was better. The T-Mobile Arena is fucking way better. Dude, you could lounge in the seats, dude. They're fucking cushioned. They're comfortable. They're big. They're wide. I was sitting next to people we didn't know, and I wasn't even touching them. Like, it was an amazing event as far as like production quality. The only thing that sucked really about ADCC is that they didn't have a merch setup like they did last time. On the concourse, they had like booths kind of every once in a while, but you could tell a lot of the vendors didn't even want to be there. Dude, like you could tell that it was either too expensive or they're like, maybe we'll do ADCC. There wasn't really a lot of vendors at CJI either, but. Last time at ADCC, I think they set up a whole merch area in the other arena. So there's two arenas that touch each other at Thomas and Mack. It's Thomas and Mack and the Cox Pavilion. The Cox is where the women play basketball at. I think they had the merch set up in there because I remember going down the hallway towards it. So they had a huge merch area, kind of like they do at Jiu-Jitsu Con. At ADCC this time, there wasn't really anything. The only thing that was really there was Future. And like Future was just like, it was so much sucking dick of fucking New Wave. I wanted to buy something, but it was like the church literally said Abu Dhabi Combat Club, Future Kimonos, New Wave competition team. And it's like why I'm not on the New Wave competition team. Why would I buy the sweater for $100?
Yeah.
You know, but dude, the quality of production was way better for ADCC. It was in the arena. It was way better. It was badass. It was like I've never been to like a what do they call the big WWE thing? SummerSlam or something like that.
I don't know.
Like it would be like being at the Royal Rumble, dude. There was fucking fireworks going off. The screens were badass. They did have some stupid.
Well, that's where all the money went. But that's the controversy. That you spend all this money instead of paying your.
But the whole time I was there, I was like, dude, this is cool. CJI burned me out so fucking bad. I was like, man. I didn't really want to be here now. Like, dude.
That's a lot of jiu-jitsu.
It was a lot of jiu-jitsu. It was fucking like 30 hours. Probably
that's like if you look at, I don't know if you've seen, we were talking, before we started this podcast, we were talking about different, what do they call those things? Seminar? Or not seminars, but they're...
Oh, the immersion, the camps?
The camps.
Like the Origin immersion camp?
You saw the one that Eddie Bravo's putting on?
Oh, no, I didn't see that one.
Eddie Bravo has one in Mexico somewhere. It's like 4 days. So every day there's seminars, but at the end of the night, there's an event every single night.
Like a fight?
Yeah. So they have EBI is going to be there.
Shit.
Then they're going to have the combat jiu-jitsu. Yeah. They're going to have a night of combat jiu-jitsu, and then they're going to have another event and another event. So during the day, it's like all just training, and then they're going to have parties and stuff. And then at nighttime, it's like an actual jiu-jitsu event. So a lot of these camps that you go to, you go, you train, and then you hang out and stuff, which is cool. But his is going to be, seminars during the day, free food, all inclusive. But then at the end of the nights, it includes actual events.
Dope. Yeah, I'd like to go to that.
And the hotel they're staying at, the resort it's badass.
Is it?
Yeah. I was going to tell you about it. Yeah, I was going to tell you about it. So I'd love to try to go to one of those things. Any of those, I think the experience would be really cool.
I think you would have to. I think to get a lot of that, like to get the jiu-jitsu aspect out of it, you would have to go to like the Origin camp because I don't think they're partying.
They're just training.
It's more like dudes who are like about their shit versus the wild boys in jiu-jitsu, like the fucking like the surf fight camp or probably like how the EBI camp's gonna be. Man, the amount of weed that's gonna get smoked, they might fucking smoke all the weed out of Mexico in that fucking place, dude. But I think to get something for jiu-jitsu, you'd have to go to like one of the Origin ones because I don't think they really party like that.
Well, then there's a few in Brazil that are happening too.
Yeah, but I mean, if I'm going to Brazil, we're getting buck wild, dog. If we go to Mexico, I'll do jiu-jitsu the first day, and then that fucking night is gonna ruin the rest of jiu-jitsu. I'll be on the mats and the gi like, maybe I'll pass on this roll. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, so man, but ADCC was really fun. I think just the quality of being there was better. But the CGI was the man. It was fucking awesome. It was coming up. And I didn't watch any of the Gordon fights, not online or not even there.
I'm going to say something a little controversial.
All right, Batman.
Out of CJI, Gabby Garcia came out.
The Queen.
The Queen.
Yep. 100%.
Everyone is seeming to forget what a shitty person she is.
I brought that up to somebody else.
Like, if you guys don't know, she is such a shitty person. There's been so much drama with her schools, with students and kids.
There is two sides to every story.
There is, but the amount of people complaining about her, they were complaining about her basically scamming people for money at her schools.
Yeah.
There were people that were quitting the gym, and she was like, I'm not canceling your contract, or they canceled the contract, and she would continue to charge them for like months. And even though she would, like, people were having to get lawyers to go after her because she wouldn't stop charging them. So she came out really cool on the CGI, but people are like overlooking, like, she is not a nice person.
I agree with you.
I
brought that up to somebody. I can't remember who I was talking to about that.
Yeah, and so I was kind of like, it's kind of like Cyborg, you know, and his shit. People seem to forget what happened with Cyborg and all that shit.
I also brought that up.
It's very similar to that with Gabby, with what she's, like, how much of a shitty person she is. And the CGI painted her in such a good light. And I'm not saying she didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
Like, the entertainment value that she provided, that interview, fucking by far probably the best interview I've seen. That shit, if you guys haven't seen it, Craig Jones and Gabby, and I don't even know that guy's name. What is his name?
Renato Laranja?
Yeah. That interview,
really?
Yeah, I always forget his name. That interview was so fucking good.
You never seen the videos of him putting Eddie Bravo to sleep?
You know,
that wasn't his first time. That motherfucker's been around forever.
Oh yeah, the first time I remember seeing him, he was harassing Joe Rogan in a locker room.
He's a 27-time world champion.
Yeah. When Joe Rogan was coming out of a locker room, he was like harassing him in the locker room and like talking shit to Joe Rogan. And Joe Rogan, I don't know if it was staged, but Joe Rogan was kind of like, you could tell he was like, bro, get out of my face.
You know that he's not Brazilian, right?
Where is he from?
He's a Dominican dude from New York.
And he just has a Brazilian accent. He just plays it well.
It's a character. Yeah. That's not even his real name.
Yeah.
There's only been 27 world champions. 27 world championships.
He is fucking hilarious. I love that dude.
It's like a skit. So there's a video. I didn't know it was real fake the first time I saw it. They're doing a seminar and Eddie Bravo's talking, and this Brazilian dude starts talking shit. And then something happens and they stand up and they start fighting. Eddie shoots on him and he puts him to sleep in the middle of in a seminar at Eddie's gym, and gets up and starts talking shit in Portuguese and leaves. It's fake. That dude's a black belt from Eddie, and he's an actor.
Yeah, he's really good.
That
interview was,
dude. When he smelled the butt plug,
I almost spit my drink out like 5 times watching that show. When he was like hitting her with a little whip, and he was like, oh my god, I'm in love or something like that. I was like, dude, this is great.
He's hitting with the whip and she's just looking at him.
Yeah, she's a harder. Yeah. He's a boy.
Fuck, dude. Anyway, hey, if we're going to talk about how much of a piece of shit Gabby is, let's talk about how much of a piece of shit Cyborg is. I was disappointed that Heath was like giving him hugs and like loving on him after that fight, because fuck Cyborg, dog. That fool helped hide fucking pedophilia.
Yeah.
You can't fuck with that, dog. Like, so I think there's too much of that going on in jiu-jitsu. Like, you guys need to fucking look at your idols and see what the fuck they're doing. And dude, like the same thing. Like, I think I could have swore I saw Heath dap up fucking Lloyd Irving. You can't have Lloyd Irvin dude, he was part of a gang rape.
Yeah.
You can't have Lloyd Irvin at motherfucking jiu-jitsu tournaments no more. I don't give a fuck his fight is there. Lloyd Irvin can't come.
Yeah.
He can't come.
Yep. Anyways.
That full black belt himself, too. Fuck him.
Anyways, there was a lot of good jiu-jitsu, though.
Dude, it was too much.
Yeah, it was a lot in 2 days. So, big shout out to Craig Jones. He did he leveled up the sport across the board. Articles I seen on this event was insane.
Yeah.
The way he did the lead up, the marketing campaign, the social media presence that he did it.
You know, Sunday morning that flew to Cartagena
to go party. Yeah, that dude's wild. Craig Jones is wild.
Wild boy. And it's funny. So like, my brother is not into jiu-jitsu at all.
Uh-huh.
He was sending me the Master Ken videos they did, like the lead up to this shit. And I was like, dude, that's the guy who put it on. I was like, he lives in the town you're from.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't know. This is hilarious. And I was like,
anyways, good stuff. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on CJI, ADCC. Leave a comment down below. What was your favorite matches? What did you think ADCC versus CJI? Would you ever go to ADCC again, or are you going to go to CJI?
I don't think I'll ever go to ADCC again. I think the era of ADCC is over unless they do some wild shit.
Yeah.
Like, unless they start paying the athletes so they come back, because the fact that CJI exists, and if it's going to be these two brackets, these are probably the two most exciting brackets.
I think he wants to try to add a women's bracket, though.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really going to take away from ADCC, because ADCC's only got 2 brackets anyway or whatever.
And they don't pay the women.
They don't pay the women, and it's like, dude. So,
well, not that they don't pay them. They don't pay them.
The same.
This is the first year they actually paid them the same. Yeah.
But these two groups of fighters. Well, actually, you might want to.
You know what we glossed over?
What?
Fucking Mackenzie Dern and.
That wasn't even a fight. I can't talk about it.
It was just. We knew it was gonna happen like that.
Yeah.
You had to know.
You had to know.
You had to know that it was gonna go down like that. Like, she has not been training jiu-jitsu. She's been doing more.
Oh, you know that reminds me. So what I was talking about earlier, yeah, she wasn't even training jiu-jitsu. Fionn fucked up Mackenzie. It wasn't even like it was a fight. Unbelievable how bad she beat her up. But that makes me think, just because of styles, I think if J-Rod mixed in smash passing with that outside shit, he's unstoppable.
With his athleticism and his speed.
Dude, if he learned...
imagine him training with, like, Cade and Ty Rutolo.
He's already doing the same shit. You want to get him training with, like, a fucking Hoyler or, like, someone like that to show him the nuance of old jiu-jitsu, of just grinding motherfuckers out, because the only smash pass he has is that body lock pass, which he's pretty good at. But, like, when he was fighting... who did he fight for the finals? One of the dudes from Autos.
I don't know.
The dude who won. Anyway, so he's fighting him, and if he would have grabbed him and started like grinding through the guard, I think he would have got through the guard and at least got points. I think he needs to add a little bit of that of traditional grind jiu-jitsu to the shit that he does, and I think he's unstoppable. Because Nicky does it.
Yeah.
Nicky Rod does it. He does some of that smash passing into the athleticism, or the athleticism into the smash. I think J-Rod's that dude. I think the fact that he doesn't have a black belt is fucking crazy. If they don't give him a brown belt after this fucking weekend, what the fuck are we doing here? Like, that kid is a black belt on the fucking highest level. And he's huge. Did you see the picture with him and Danny?
Mm-mm. Oh, yeah.
Dude, he's huge.
Yeah.
He cuts to make minus 80. He's 200 pounds walking around. He's a big fucking boy, dude.
Yeah.
The Rod brothers are here. I think you got Craig, Nicky, and Jay are the fucking probably kings of jiu-jitsu right now. You have fucking Andrew Tackett up there. The Rutolos are kind of on the other planet. They're doing their own fucking thing. But Galval's talking about fighting minus 80. Galval came out on the... I don't know if they showed that online.
They did.
He came out and said, I was ready to fight this bracket.
Yeah.
If you put Galval in this plus 80, that's okay. I know for sure Galval can make minus 80. If you put... right before ADCC, he fought in a minus 80 bracket. He fought at 178, I think.
Oh, shit.
Right, so not this ADCC, the last one. He fought and won, I think, at 178.
I don't think he has a chance at minus 80 with these guys. But he's strong.
Hey, I talk a lot of shit on Galval. I actually really like him.
Yeah.
He beats everybody in this bracket.
Minus 80?
Minus 80. He fucks him up.
I don't know about that.
Galval is the man.
I'm not arguing with you.
He's old. He's like 40.
I'm not arguing with you that he's not the man. I'm just saying that's a tough bracket.
You put Galval in that bracket that Cyborg was in, it's not even close.
Yeah.
But one more thing before we end. Pixley beating Marigali is the upset of all time.
Yeah, that was wild.
So in the last podcast when I did it by myself, my voice was gone. So everyone's kind of fighting, and then Pixley and fucking Marigali walk out. Everybody was watching Pixley and Marigali. A minute into the fight, dude, Pixley hits him with the fucking Harai Goshi. Dude, Marigali's feet were in the fucking air.
Yeah.
And he slammed it on the mat, and I think Pixley was so surprised how easy it was. He was like, what the fuck? And then they both jumped back up. Because Pixley was standing up looking at him. Dude, he threw him like 5 feet away.
That's crazy.
And then if you go back and watch this fight,
I'm about to watch it.
He's like, oh fuck, I threw him. And then Marigali jumps back up and they start fighting again. Dude, when he threw Marigali again towards the end of the mat, dude, the place fucking erupted. And everyone's fucking yelling. And then he threw the Darce on. everybody
But
knew
his
it was
shoulder
over.
was already out
Who
by then, but yeah.
fucking cares?
I think that this is all about a what ifs.
Yeah.
And, if his shoulder had not gotten fucked up and it got on the mat, Marigali probably would have won.
I don't know. That Darce was in so quick, dude.
I think he would have won on the mat.
Dude,
I don't think he stands a fucking chance standing with Pixley at all.
Well, yeah, for sure. Marigali's jiu-jitsu's better. That throw Pixley's thing is the Darce.
Yeah.
Go back to ADCC 2 years ago. Ty caught him in a fucking Darce, and it was wild. I think he didn't tap out of just sheer wheel. It seems like he has a blind spot to no. It seems no. Ty caught Marigali in that same Darce. Yeah. So I think Marigali may have a blind spot to those Darces. Because Pixley caught him in a Darce before that, and he got out of it, but it wasn't tight. You can see, before I remember, he caught someone else in a Darce and got out, but you can see that Pixley's Darce is on the highest level there can be. Yeah. He had that thing in
right away.
Probably before the pain of the shoulder hit. It was over. Yeah. That Darce was in there. So everybody else had a smart game plan. When Lovato beat Pixley, he sat down. When Cyborg beat Pixley, he sat down.
Yeah. Don't stand with that motherfucker.
But the arrogance of Marigali to stand with Pixley, who was the highest level wrestler there was from his era.
And his judo's fucking amazing.
His judo's amazing. And it's because Pixley was a NIAA world champion, I think. Or NIAA champion. And I think a Division II world champion, and then a Division I champion. So he started at the lowest level, made it through all the colleges. He is at the time he was wrestling. He was that dude.
Mm-hmm.
He's like a Jason Nolf or who was the kid that's still at Penn State? He just graduated this year. Was it Nolf? One of the dudes just graduated this year. Yeah, Nolf, not Pat Downey. So Nolf just graduated this year from Penn State, 2-time national champion, I think. Pixley was that dude at his era.
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
Yeah.
You get Pixley the time on the mat.
Yeah, he's gonna
be unstoppable.
Yeah.
If he doesn't get hurt, Pixley is going to be the fucking dude at 180 or whatever he fights at.
So before we get to the end of this podcast, one thing I have to do.
Are you quitting?
Big shout out to our boy Trevor.
Oh, Professor Trevor!
Our boy got his black belt. It sucks the way. If everyone was kind of oh, it sucks how he got it. No, I think it was awesome. So. Trevor, if you guys don't know who Trevor is, we have a podcast with him, and he showed some Darce moves. So check that out when he was his brown belt. He's been teaching the kids classes.
He's kind of running the kids program
for
at school.
2 years now, almost
about a year for sure.
And so during the kids promotion, Professor promoted him in front of the kids, which I thought, at first when we seen his black belt, I was like, what the fuck? How did you get your what? How? And then they were like, "Oh, he gave it to me in front of the kids," and I was like, "That's cool." I was like, "That was pretty awesome."
Yeah, I think it. It's just kind of.
I feel like that means something.
It's lost on the kids though. None of the kids are super excited. They're like, "Oh, cool."
Yeah, but
because that age of kid doesn't understand
because of the little kids,
what it takes to become a black belt.
Yeah. So big shout out to you, Trevor. Definitely deserved it. Well earned. You've been grinding. So. Just wanted to make sure to give a shout out to fucking Trevor.
Shout out to Trevor. Yeah. You still don't want the smoke. What's up, dog? Trevor's only 160 pounds.
Yeah, he's pretty small. Anyways, good shit. If you guys like the podcast, leave a comment, share it out, and all that good stuff. You got anything else?
Still a Megaton lifestyle.